Tonight we look at the digital trail left by Kouri Richins, a woman attempting to write her own ending. In these emails to detectives, Kouri isn't just clearing up details. She thinks she's got the perfect exit strategy. She writes about wanting her life back, the need to move on, and the exhaustion of constantly looking over her shoulder. But while she's typing out her hope for a fresh start, investigators are already closing in. She wanted to stop looking back, but she's about to lose the path forward forever. This is True Crime Lullabies.
2. Chad Hoffmeyer and Jeff O'Driscoll. Subject: clarification. Hey, after you guys left Friday, I was trying to make sure dates were as accurate as possible. But I always feel like something was last year, and it was actually several years ago. Anyway, you asked me when my doctor had prescribed quetiapine. I believe I told you a few years before Eric passed. However, I emailed my doctor today to get a specific date, and this was her response. I don't even know if this matters for anything, but it was bothering me. Also, Eric's company was started in 2010, not 2012. I think I might have said 2012. That's when we got married, LOL. Again, none of this probably matters, but it was bothering me. Hey there. I thought I would clarify some other items on your list that you spoke to Sheesh about. The beginning of February last year, my kids had a soccer tournament in Mesquite. The day before we left, February 2nd, 2022, I tested positive for COVID. I have attached the picture of my test from on my counter in my kitchen from when I first found out, photo 1. I had sent it to my mom and Sheesh to let them know because I was just around both of them. Eric was the coach of the soccer team, and I'm the annoying mom on the sideline that never stops yelling. We don't miss games or tournaments. We're a huge soccer family. When we found out I had COVID, I didn't want to miss the soccer tournament, nor did I want to get my kids sick. So I stayed at Casablanca. I didn't want to risk getting my boys ill during the tournament and then not play well. I brought a box of at-home tests with me to test every day so I could either join the boys staying at my father-in-law's or at least be with them during the game. Casablanca is about 5 minutes from the soccer field. Actually, here is a picture of the room number I stayed in. I had taken a picture for my mom and Eric. I was still positive every day. Pictures attached. I would take pictures of my test to Eric to say, still positive. You can check Eric's phone for this. I stood on the sidelines wearing a mask and not interacting with anyone. Happy to get other soccer parents to attest to this. Eric had gotten COVID after we got home from Mesquite. You asked about any exotic vacations I have taken since Eric's passing. I went on 2 trips last year. One, my kids tried out at a soccer camp in SLC to qualify to play in Spain in June, and both my kids made it. So yes, I took them to Spain in October 2022. Have attached their invitation letters. Also, Eric and I went to Mexico every year, sometimes twice. We traveled a lot. We have taken the boys to Mexico a few times. We like to go in January. However, January of 2022, we could not go because Eric had his hunting trip to Mexico trip of 2 weeks planned, and it was too much that month. This is not new for us to go to Mexico, or for us to go out of the country, or on a vacation with our kids. I took my kids, and my mom came with us, in August of 2022 to Mexico. As I hope you understand, the months prior to this since Eric's death have been hard to deal with. No, I have never been to Key West or the Keys in Florida. However, my nanny went with her family in June 2022, so maybe you have something mixed up. Eric's affair was the same year I moved out. The trust was created, as well as him looking into a divorce. I never actually moved out. I moved my clothes out one weekend to make Eric understand I'm not kidding about leaving him if he doesn't end things with Sheesh. I did this on a Thursday or Friday while he was out of town. I was home Monday. I never stayed another night at that other house. Eric and I figured things out like most couples do. Shh was her name. He changed her name in his phone so I wouldn't know about it. And honestly, we worked things out after that. I never went through his phone again to see if he changed it back, but you have his phone and can check. Eric and I went to counseling in Camas. We only went about 4 times maybe. It wasn't for us. are the same person, as I'm assuming you know that? Ha ha ha. I'm also assuming. Shh. Told Woody her husband got a call from him and gave all this information, lol. Yet he didn't ever go in to talk to detectives? Ironic how these things work. Mental health? Yes, I got postpartum after my second child in 2014. Yes, I took medication for it. No, Eric and I did not have financial problems ever. Yes, Eric made more money than me. Do you make more money than your wives? Have I ever been financially reliant on Eric in the last 5 years? Absolutely not. Eric did not want me working because 1, his first wife, cheated on him with a guy at work. 2, and 3, Eric wanted us to live the typical conservative life where the man takes care of his family and the wife is a homemaker. Wife, mom, and that's it. That is not my personality and not the way I was raised. I am very independent. Even when I stayed home with my kids the first few years, I was in grad school for years because I wanted to be more and do more than be a homemaker. And I did. And when I did and started my business, it took some adjusting, but Eric and I were fine with it. We hired my nanny and everything worked out. My nanny moved out because she was engaged and she and her fiancé were moving in together. That was always supposed to be temporary. She's worked full-time for Eric and I for years prior to his death. If anyone can tell you about our marriage, it's her. She lived it with us. Feel free to call her. Shh. Has already submitted her phone records to you to prove that your toll is incorrect. We'll also be submitting hers over to you guys today or tomorrow. I am working on getting mine. However, Eric's business partner is not being cooperative. But you can call and ask for them, and he would probably give them to you. I know what time I went to bed that night. There is no hole in my story. Hopefully, by obtaining 4 phone record documentation, you guys can see this too. Happy to clarify or provide anything else you may need. I just want this over. I just want our lives back. And to move on and grieve and mourn my husband without looking over my shoulder constantly for you guys, or the idiotic private investigator or the Richins family. Whatever I can do to help close this out, just ask, I'll give you or tell you whatever you want to know. Please check with the lab on those gummies. P.S. Chad, I hear you also know our good friend. Their son and my son play on the same soccer team. When Eric passed, they took over coaching. You guys could even chat with them if you feel necessary. Kouri, Richins.
The emails are sent, and the plea for a new beginning is sitting in the inbox. Tonight we've seen Kouri reach for a life that was already slipping through her fingers. She wanted to stop looking over her shoulder, but the shadows are catching up. If this desperate attempt to rewrite the narrative has left you unsettled, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment letting us know what part of the email disturbed you the most. Now it's time to log off and try to find some peace in the dark. Until next time, sleep tight.